What's going on, everyone? So I'm going to start up my engine rebuild series now. I'm hoping it'll be a series, but I don't know what's going on in here, if I can rebuild it. The only problem I'll have is this cylinder head here. Gizmo no longer carries this in stock, and you can't buy it from them. You can get it from DDM, but it's not ported. It doesn't have Gizmo porting to it or anything like that. So this engine died at the Walton Raceway. I just kept on losing power as I went along. It was getting worse and worse. I was obviously leaning out, and the problem here is, as you can see, you look closely here, there should not be any oil buildup along the gasket here. It seems like these bolts here got loosened up, and yes, I did Loctite them. But I have not checked this over since last year when I rebuilt this engine. So I mean, this is just not proper maintenance on my part, and I never noticed this happening here. But the whole front section, maybe the gasket went, I don't know. But hopefully I didn't, well, I probably got some dirt in there. Who knows what's going on in there. I gotta check it over. So I'm gonna take it apart now. I'll fast forward through most of the video because I don't want to take up all your time while I take apart screws and stuff like that. But I'll also give some tips and stuff that I've learned while I use this engine. Alright, so I'm just going to take apart the carb side here and remove the air filter. This is the Tgn Air Filter here. I've had comments and I've seen on forums that don't use these because they fail or they rip and stuff like that. I just don't know how you could possibly rip it, at least with this setup here. If you're using like a Reed engine where it comes out even further out and it's bumping up against the cage, maybe there you'll rip it. But in this case with this engine and the way I have it here, I just don't see it happening. And I've got extras of these, so in case it gets dirty. Actually here, you'll see here. So as you can see here, that's how I have mine, and you can see that this has seen half a day racing at Walton Raceway, and I don't see any dirt in there. It is nice and clean except for the outside. Now I do use the air filter, the Tgn, the outerwears cover on this. I always use that, and but you can see it's still clean. All right. Take apart the Tgn velocity stack. Oh, something I gotta tell you guys about the Tgn velocity stack here. Make sure, I'll show you in a second, in regards to the O-ring that it comes with. I've used that since I've owned it, but you want to check that when you use this thing once in a while, because actually I don't have the O-ring on it because I took it off. I'm using right now the just the velocity stack gasket, but under here you can see, I'll just pull this off. Right there's a groove for it to fit the O-ring in there. Now the O-ring that I had before got worn out and it doesn't fit in that groove. If your O-ring does not fit in that groove, don't use it and get a new one. I asked Tgn for a couple of them and they threw in a couple in my order free of charge. So give them a call and give them, let them know you want some, because they don't sell them, but they're nice and they'll throw in a couple in your order and stuff like that. But if you don't have an O-ring, because I lost a brand new one in the grass over in Walton, so I didn't have the other O-ring that I had. I left it at home, so I just stuck in velocity stack and velocity stack gasket, and that works just fine. But make sure that the O-ring fits perfectly into that groove. And I like to grease my O-ring with like an O-ring grease lightly, so that it provides a proper seal. Moving the manifold right now. It's kind of ridiculous using such a huge drill. This is like not for hobbies. This is for my home work that I do here. But you know what? It comes in handy. I don't have one of those. What do you call it? Electric screwdriver and stuff like that. This gasket I'm gonna have to replace. This one is no good. It's pretty dirty. Right now, this engine is pretty dirty. I didn't bother cleaning it because I'm going to take this whole thing apart and just give it a proper cleaning. So I don't care about dirt going anywhere because it'll be cleaned out properly. Now over onto here, let's see what's going on in here. I don't see any, I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but I don't see any damage on this side here. And if there is dirt in my engine, I probably should not be moving that piston. But so I'll stop doing that. But I don't see any damage on that. Over onto this side here, the exhaust side. You know, I use red Loctite on these bolts, and even with red Loctite, they still get loose. So I always check these, but they loosen up after a while. The thing about using the VRC big bores, you've got to use this ball head to get in to this screw here. I don't really like using this thing because well, this one hasn't broken, but you torque it down too much and those bits break. It's already happened. Not with that one, but with the number 3. This one's in pretty tight. Alright, over onto here. This is probably where the worst. That doesn't look bad at all, actually. I don't see anything going on in there. I don't know if you can see on the camera there. Again, I shouldn't be doing this, but alright, it's already damaged, so whatever. Huh. I don't know about you, but I don't see any damage in there. We'll have to see what's going on in there. Oh, on over to this here. This is the Kraftwerks heavy duty spark plug or wire, whatever. As you can see here, you've got to use this because eventually this wears out, and I don't recommend you get this part because this is annoying. Stick with stock because I haven't bothered changing it because I don't feel like taking apart the engine and replacing that wire. But don't use this part because it is nice and heavy duty. But you know what? What's the point if this pops out? And it's happened already at the track once on a practice day, and also while I'm around in the yard bashing it around. And I didn't know why my engine died, and it was this thing that keeps popping off. So I got a tip from one of the racers that to use this on this type of spark plug wire. Make sure when you're taking apart your engine and stuff like that, you put your bolts and stuff like that in one side. I like to use these metal type of trays, the magnetic parts trays. Just like that, I don't lose anything, and I like to keep them separated. Just like that, I know where to put everything back when you do this. This is something that I've got to do some maintenance work on because I have not looked at this in a while. So. Make sure you do that because I've already ruined one of these. Well, I didn't ruin it, but I had to replace parts in it. Wow, this guy's in tight. You know, when your bolts are pretty tight, it's nice having this type of tool you get from DDM. It's a lot easier to, when you're using this type of tool, when it's tight, it's harder to turn with this. But when you can switch it over to here, you get a nice good grip on it, and it's a lot easier to remove these bolts. Actually, this is not too bad. It's actually pretty clean in here. Not even using outerwears cover on this thing. That's actually quite surprising. I'll still put in a little bit of lube in here, dry lube like a graphite. That's what's recommended. Although I am seeing a little bit of damage on that there. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I don't know if you can see it. Who knows? Back engine cover off. Make sure you take that switch out. Ooh, that's filled with grass in there. Should always clean that out so that you get proper cooling. Ooh, even the top part here. This is messy. Put this over to the side here. Make sure once you've got a clean engine that you clean your surface here, and you don't want to get any of this stuff inside the engine when you reassemble it. Right now I'm not worried about that. Alright, now I gotta get a spark plug wrench I mean. I'll be back. Alright, so off camera I had to loosen this here because a while this was on really tight. I had to put it on the ground and really put pressure on it because it didn't want to come off. This is actually running pretty rich. That's actually quite surprising. I did change this plug at the track, so that's a little bit misleading. That's kind of weird though. As you can see, it's pretty black, so that you know it's running rich. I never like to see a spark plug like that. I like to be nice brownish color. I don't know what's going on there. It's possible I changed the spark plug and used an older one. I don't know. I don't think this is accurate, so I'm not going to go anything by that. Alright, what type of bolts are these here? It's been a while since I actually worked on. Oh wow, that was really loose. I didn't put any pressure on that at all. I was expecting to put on at least some pressure. That was really, really loose. See, this is what happens when you don't take care of your stuff and you get lazy. Stuff like this happens. So even so, check these. I don't know how you should check these bolts, but obviously the Loctite failed. I don't know what happened here. I didn't use enough. I don't know. I can see the Loctite on it, but I didn't use enough. Yeah, these are really, really loose. And I torqued these down, but who knows? Stuff happens, right? Did not use enough Loctite on that. I can already see already. Dumb stuff that I've done. Imagine these are going to be tighter. No, actually that was really loose too. Wow. I even Loctite these? Just looking at it here, it's like, wow, I barely used anything. I don't know why I would do that. This was last year when I rebuilt this engine, right? Always remember, Loctite your bolts, metal to metal. You don't know how many times I've not listened to myself and I've had the bolts come loose. This one's pretty tight. This one's got to have Loctite on it, more than the other ones. I'm not going to worry about taking this off yet. I just want to see what's going on in there. Come on. I'll get those out later. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Oh, I see, it's stuck on the flywheel here. Alright, so this is obviously rebuildable because, I don't know about you, but that looks pretty clean in there. Give you guys a close-up look here, but I got lucky. Look at that. It's not bad. Not bad at all, actually. I don't see any scratching or anything on the walls. So I got lucky. That's a good thing. Piston here. This is probably something I'm going to replace here. I'm not going to reuse this thing, although just looking at it here, it doesn't look bad at all. I might just get away with just a piston ring here. There's a little bit of yeah, I'm going to replace this piston. I need a new piston. But yeah, so that's good. I can reuse this here. No need for a new head or anything like that because this is actually really good. Alright, so I'm going to clean all these parts up. I'm not going to put that on camera, but you want to clean everything up and before you reassemble everything. I got all my brand new gaskets here. This is the stock one here, but I've also got the other two sizes for this because after I measure my squish, I gotta make sure I have the proper clearance. So I'll see then which one I use. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always, and stay tuned for my next video when I rebuild this engine back up. Alright, so I know I ended the video already, but I thought I'd just give a little bit of an update. You know, looking over my bolts on the head bolts there, it's obvious that I did not Loctite those bolts. I Loctited just one of them. So I don't know what I was thinking when I put this together. I don't know, maybe if I just wanted to see if it would fit properly and stuff like that, and I forgot to Loctite the rest of the three. So that was just really stupid. Over onto here, I'm just removing the back flywheel section of the engine here. But yeah, so that's what happened. Did not Loctite. Really boneheaded move, I know that, and well, that's the way you learn.